cats on charms. Let me get this out of the way. We are about to start a new bloom technique. I'm experimenting with some things. I'm getting my piping bags ready. So all I have to do is pour my resin in here and then pull it up, tie it off, ready to pipe. But we're gonna try two different things. We are going to try metallic alcohol inks, and I'm gonna try this interference powder, which you can see the little hint of pink in it. I'm gonna try that as well. I'm also gonna try white paste, and I have my white alcohol ink, Sinker White, in a needle drop bottle. But let me get my resin mixed up, get all that started. When everything reaches, I'm gonna try this a different way. I'm gonna try bringing it to a temperature, letting all of my resin heat up, and then I'm gonna pour it in my mold, add my alcohol inks, have my white ready. In this one, I'm gonna put my mica or ghost powder in here, and I'm gonna pipe this in instead of drop it in. I wanna pipe this in a mold with the mica and see how it turns out. This is a hit or miss. I also wanna try, not this video, but in a different video, I'm gonna try using the pearlescent acrylic paint to color my resin and see what happens with that. So a lot of experimenting going on, y'all. Go grab your drink on your way out, give this a thumbs up so other people can find this and learn a much easier way to do blooms that has really stumped everybody. So let's see if we can find a simpler way to make it easy and less anxiety ridden for everybody. I'm gonna go get all my prep work done. I'll be right back. When we come back, we'll be ready to start pouring. See you in a few. Hey y'all, I wanna show you, we're letting our resin get to temperature, but I'm finishing a separate project that I had. I had some leftover glitter glass that I also put in a little swipe of the holographic glitter in here. So I wanted you to see, I mixed up this interference blue. Do you see that when I stir it? That hint of blue. So when you see interference powders in the name or ghost powder, it really just means it's a hint of that color in here. Isn't that gorgeous, y'all? So I wanted to show you that because I decided I'm going to use just the violet, this one, for my bloom here. But I wanted you to see how gorgeous this is. And this is what is meant by an interference powder. It usually has a white base with a hint of that iridescent undercolor, whatever it says. Violet, pink, blue, green, gold, silver. I've seen all kind of different ones. But there you have it. I'm gonna finish my prep work. I'll see you in a second. And I want you to see, I mixed up my white. And you can see it is a little darker than 2% milk. When I scoop it up, you can still see the wood through that, even though the majority is white. So I wanted you to see that. This is the consistency your white should be. A little bit darker than 2% milk, but not completely opaque. So there's that. I'll be back in a few. Let's put it all together. I've got to shake up these metallic alcohol inks because you see the color is stuck at the bottom. So you want to make sure these are very well combined, or you're going to get just alcohol without the colorant evenly distributed. So first of all, I have some extra resin. So I'm just going to make a few Petri with this metallic alcohol ink, and I'm just going to use black and gray, or black and silver. Which do I have? Silver, black and silver. And we're going to see what we get. I'm going to put these in so it can set. Wow, y'all. Whew, that's crazy. Let's see if I can get it out of here. And I already mixed up my white and my pink. There we go. Let me get some in here. Y'all, let me tell you, make sure you cut the tops off of these. I use the little, ooh, that's gonna be fun. I use a little push pin. Now I have my white alcohol ink, Sinker White. I'm just gonna put these directly on my Petri effect and let that do its little dance. And then I'll come back when I finish pouring these blooms, and it should be time to stir these. All right, that's all I'm gonna put in there. Okay, whew. Now, for these two, this one I'm gonna do the pink interference powder. This one I'm going to do these fall colors. So let me get those mixed really well because I don't want that color stuck on the bottom. So I have the wine red, the brown, and the olive gold to make a good fall one. So let's put these in. And we're gonna see how these metallics work, y'all. They're beautiful for sure. All right, let's do our brown and we'll do our red in the middle. Isn't that pretty, y'all? You see that sparkle? Gorgeous. All right, so let's do our red in the center, like so. I think that's gonna be pretty, y'all. I like that combo. And then we're gonna do black and white in this one, and I want you to see 33.9 Celsius, which, let me turn it to Fahrenheit, 92.8. So you want your resin between 91 and 95 degrees. Let's see how that does. Now I have my black, gray, and silver, and I think I want to do my silver on the outside. There's that. We're gonna do, y'all, I gotta cut this. It's gonna drive me insane. So I'm just gonna snip the end, and let's see. Nope. Still wants to be a pain in the you-know-what. So I'm gonna take a toothpick and push down in there. That's the only bad thing about these. There we go. Woo! Y'all, gotta get this shook up good. Alright, so I'm gonna speed run through these. I'll fast forward this for y'all. Alright, we're gonna let it do its little thing. Okay, so this is the deal with this pink. See the pink is in here? I'm gonna turn this inside out, and I want to make sure all of my colorant is at the end of my bag. So I'm gonna put it down, and I'm gonna push it down, like so, okay? So now I'm going to twist it, and then I'm gonna turn it facing up, and I'm gonna cut just a very little tip off. You don't want this too big of an opening. All right, so, whoop, trying to unravel. All right, here we go. And I'm just going to swirl this around in here. All right, so that's my pink. I'm gonna put it back in the cup so it doesn't leak everywhere. Now I'm gonna get my white, and my white has to go on all of these, y'all. All right, so when I touch this, it's warm, but it's not hot. Same thing, I'm gonna twist this piping back up, and I'm gonna hold it up, and I'm gonna snip the very end off, because I want this to be like spaghetti noodles. Oop, when it comes out, y'all. That came out really fast. Let's start here. And I want to go over that a few times, but I want to make sure that all of these get some white on them. So now I'm going to go back and try to hit the areas that don't have any. Like we'll go between these. It's okay if there's any little lumped areas. That's fine. Let me, oop, got my glove. And I'm just twisting this so it all comes up to the end of my bag so it's easier to put out. And I'm just gonna go around the outside and more around the inside. And I'm gonna come back over here. Ooh, I gotta fix that blob. If you have a blob, all you need to do is stretch it out. It will be fine. All right. All right, I'm gonna put this back in my little cup. And then I'm gonna take my silicone tip, and for these blobbed areas, I'm just gonna stretch them out. Right? For these little blobs, I'm just gonna stretch them out so they're like spaghetti noodles. Because we don't want them, if they're blobbed like this, that's when you see sinking, like these right here. We just want to stretch them out so they're not blobs. Okay? Stretch that. And that's all we're doing is stretching the white out so it doesn't like sink down. Okay? Now, I'm gonna let that do its thing for a minute. So I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. I'm gonna come back and then we're gonna draw our petals in. But I'm gonna let the resin react and dance and do its little thing. And when we come back, I'll show you the way I draw my petals in. It's really simple and an easy way for you to remember. So go refresh your drink, grab a snack. We'll be right back to draw these up and to do our little swirls in our Petri. And I'll see you in a few. Hey y'all, we're back. You can see I already did this pink interference color because our temperature was getting up there. It's at 96 now. It was at 97 something. So I went ahead and stirred it. And you can see over here, we're at 91. So 95. So anywhere between 91 and 96, you're good to draw your petals in. So the way I do my petals is a simple way to remember. Think of a clock. I start at 12 o'clock, I pull in, and I go at 6 o'clock and pull in, and then I go 3 o'clock, oop, had a husky hair, to 9 o'clock, and you see we have our 4 little pieces separated. Then I go back about 2 o'clock, pull in, same thing over here. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other, right? So, now we have all of those pulled in, and I'm gonna bring this black back up through the center of every petal. And I'm gonna take it all the way to the outside, like so. I'm just gonna bring those colors up like a vein line for the leaf. Okay? And then we're gonna swirl, and I do a pretty big one. Swirl our center like a rosebud. And that's it. See that? So we have our black and white done. Now we need to do our fall one. And we're gonna start at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and I'm not going all the way to the bottom of my coaster. I'm going about 3/4 of the way down, because you don't want to scratch the bottom of your coaster, right? So we're gonna finish drawing these, and everything is inside first, and then we go back and pull our middle color out through our leaves, like so. And you want to take it out to the outside. And I have a little baby wipe that I'm wiping my stick off so I don't mix up all of my colors. So, I'm gonna finish these off, and then we just draw our, oh, did I miss one? Okay, and then we're going to swirl to make that little rosebud. So that's all we have for that one. Now we need to go to our Petri, and whatever little pinks and whites I had left in my bag, I just put in extra little things over here. You never know what you can use it for. Now for our Petri, I can do a swirl, and I want to go very slowly and just swirl that around. Oh, let me get another. Thought I had a baby wipe ready. Apparently not. Alright, so this one we can swirl. I like the swirls, especially when you have two colors like that. Okay, and we're gonna do our last one, and then we're just gonna let it all cure like so. Now on the backs of these, I am gonna do, I don't know about this one yet, I haven't decided. I need to come up with a background color for these. Isn't that beautiful, y'all? Look at that metallic coming through of these. This is gonna be really, really pretty. And this, I can tell you, it already started blooming out. I couldn't believe it when I went to start. It's beautiful. It's gonna turn out good. Definitely gonna do a black background on this. This one I'm not sure about yet. That one I'm not sure about yet. But when we come back, we're gonna pour our backgrounds, let that set up and cure, and we'll pour a background on these, and then we'll take them out and see what we have. This is an experiment, y'all. I told you that, to see what happens if we use metallic alcohol inks and our pigment paste in place of our white sinker that I tell y'all is very important. So we'll see what we have when we come back. Until then, y'all, grab your drinks, grab your treats. Oh, I do have a little bubble. I'm going to pop it like so. See another little bubble. I don't want to spray this at this point because of the alcohol inks that we used. So I don't want to mess with that. I'm using Teak Spurt's regular resin, which is on the thicker side. So it's very good about releasing bubbles on its own. I don't see any over here, so we're good. All right, y'all, we're gonna let it do its thing, set up. When we come back, I'll have figured out what colors I want to go on here. That's definitely black. I'll figure this one out. I'm thinking maybe black on this too, because we have some open clear spots. I think that black will look really good. But anyway, I'll see you in a few. Hey y'all, we are back to add our background color. I went ahead and mixed everything up, and I'm gonna move this over because I want to pour that little snowflake. I'm testing something with that too. But we have our black, and I added a little marabou rainbow to give it a sparkle. We're gonna pour black there and there. And our Petri, we're gonna background that. And I have this gorgeous brown. It's by Just Resin. It's called Chestnut. Y'all see that? Isn't that gorgeous? I love this for fall. So this is gonna be our fall piece background color. I'm just gonna pour it in, and we're gonna let it self-level. Make sure we get to every little corner. No, isn't that gorgeous? Okay. There we go. That is done. Set that to the side. Remember I told y'all, wipe your sticks as soon as you're done. And that's the easiest way to clean it up. And then it's ready for another use. Alright, let's get our black. I just cleaned that off, y'all. Look, I want you to see this. See that sparkle in there from the marabou? So, that's going to be beautiful. Let's pour. And this is the pink, or the violet iridescent. And this is the black and white with the gray and the silver. Going to make sure every little bit is covered. Top that off. Oh. almost forgot our Petri backing. That's good. A little bit in here. That's good. There. Get that to the edge. There we go with that. And you can see that little sparkle. And I'm just going to drip this because it's not going to take much at all. Okay. Have a little bit left. I will be put somewhere, or now we're going to set it to the side, and I'm going to pour this beautiful interference on here. And I will come back and I want to get the base of this covered, and it's going to be thin, and I'm fine with that. I just want to get the base coat down there. Could have mixed up some more resin. No biggie. And I always go back and mix more, which I might do for this. But all I'm gonna do is lift it up and let this run around so it's all coated, like so. And you see that, y'all? Isn't that beautiful? It's gonna look so good with that chrome blue powdered little snowflake on the front. That's going to be super cute. And I'm going to let that cure like it is, and then I'm going to mix up and I'll pour some clear over that. Because I did find out Let's Resin's interference powders are discontinued. So I don't want to use up all my interference, but if you see the word ghost, you can get interference powders and ghost powders other places. So fear not, you can still get this effect through other companies. I know Eye Candy has some, and with these backing colors, I am going to spray my alcohol to get those bubbles. I'm going to turn this around because it's wanting to overflow there. There's my handy dandy baby wipe. I'm going to put a little stick under this. Weird. Same thing with this, y'all. Oof. That almost ended up on the floor. So we just put a little stick there and we should be fine. Okay. We're gonna let that set up and cure. When we come back, we're gonna take it all out of the molds and see if our experiments were successful or a no thank you. We'll try that again. Give me your thoughts. Go to comments right now and tell me. Pause the video. Do you think we have successful blooms with this metallic alcohol ink and the white paste in place of our sinker white? Let me know what your prediction is. I'm on the fence. I don't know yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm gonna let these cure. I'll be back in a minute and we're gonna unload them and see what we have. See you in a few. Hey y'all, they're done. Are you excited to see what we have? First things first, let's look at our Petri and see what we have. Oop. Have to do some trimming there, but let's see. Oh, look at that. See our little drop to the sides, but we have our Petri effect. You see the spores. All right, let's check our other ones. See that? Pretty wild. You can see down the side, we've got our spores. Interesting. And our little heart. And it dropped a lot. So, meh. thumbs up so everybody else can find this who may be struggling or looking for new ideas to experiment with. And hit the subscribe button. That doesn't cost you anything. That is free. And ding the bell so you don't miss the next video that we upload. If you want to support my channel, I'm not sponsored by anybody. Everything I do comes out of my pocket. So if you want to help with that, I'll leave links in the information where you can buy me a copy. I've listed everybody at the front of the video who have joined and become members of the channel through a small amount monthly, and that helps support the channel too. But y'all, I'm so glad this worked as well as I hoped, because I wasn't sure what we were going to get. But I think you liked it. Leave me a comment and tell me one thing you learned that you did not know about blooms from this video. And if you have a question, leave that too. I'm more than happy to help any way that I can. Y'all know that. But until next time, happy arting. Ta-ta for now.